Welcome to another episode of Source Selection Soundbites. Today we will examine the nuances of using the 8A program in combination with FAR 8.4. FAR 8.4 is commonly referred to as the Federal Supply Schedules, or the GSA Schedules. A GSA Schedule contract is a long-term contract that sells commercial products and services primarily to federal agencies. FAR 8.4 procedures are classified as full and open competition that has discretionary small business set-asides. When conducting 8A set-asides using this acquisition method, the contracting officer needs to be aware of the acquisition nuances associated with making awards. The first nuance is the distinct FAR 8.4 definition for contractor teaming arrangements. It should not be confused with the definition in FAR 9.6, which defines a contractor teaming agreement as a joint venture or a prime and subcontractor relationship. In FAR 8.4 acquisitions, a contractor teaming agreement is a combination of prime contractors that combine their schedules and skills to support agency requirements. It is similar to a joint venture in that all participants are prime contractors, but unlike the joint venture competitive structure, it is not a separate legal entity. Thus, the contractor teaming agreement is not required to have its own GSA schedule. It is required to have an agreement between the parties to designate each participant's roles and obligations, and all of its members must be 8A, small businesses. A joint venture is a temporary arrangement between contractors to compete for business. Therefore, according to the rules, an 8A joint venture may not be awarded contracts beyond a 2-year period. Joint venture members may be small and large businesses depending on whether it's a small business joint venture or a mentor-protege joint venture. The FAR 8.4 nuance is that a joint venture must have its own GSA schedule. It is not sufficient for its members to have schedule contracts. In terms of eligibility, it could get a little tricky. If a vendor is identified as an 8A company at the time of award, but is not in the GSA 8A pool, its eligibility will be confirmed at the time of award, even in competitive acquisitions. If the vendor is in the 8A pool, eligibility is determined at the contract level, so the order level CO is not required to obtain an eligibility determination at the order level. However, sole source contracts in the GSA 8A pool, an eligibility determination is required before awarding an order or BPA. The last nuance is allowable competitive procedures. Normally, when competing in accordance with the rules of the 8A program, all 8A eligible vendors must be allowed to compete. However, since GSA has its own procedures, its competitive procedures take precedence. This means that the agency may streamline the competition by soliciting a more limited subset of eligible GSA Schedule 8A vendors. This concludes another episode of Source Selection Soundbites. If you want more details on the subject, they are available on the Source Selection Answer app. It contains lectures, quizzes, court cases, and sample documents that allow practitioners to quickly obtain actionable knowledge. Thanks for watching. See you next time.